Hello, and welcome to Semi-Adult with Virginia and Annie, a podcast all about attempting to navigate adulthood.
Hey guys, so welcome back. It's been a little bit again. What can we say? Life happens, but here we are.
It truly does.
And we're ready to chat with you guys. So the topic, before we even get into the topic of the day, let's do a little bit of a check-in. So Vivi, how are you?
I am, I wouldn't say thriving, but I am excited. We have some little ventures that we've been working on and it's coming to life. So I've definitely been productive. I'm a bit tired out from being productive, but I'm also semi-excited. So it's driving me through. It's this like manic energy that is keeping me rolling, even as I'm like very prepared to take a nap at any given moment. But that's basically a summation of how I feel is like fun and tired. What about you?
I am good. I had an interesting week, but here we are and we're moving forward. And as we're filming this, it's Saturday afternoon, so why wouldn't I be great? What can I say?
Yes, we love a good weekend. Usually we film during the week, so we're like rushed, and we kind of are rushed today anyways because, I got plans. What? I know me.
Crazy.
I feel like an active member of society, but I decided to actually see my friends instead of dodging their texts because I have no energy. Decided to rally tonight. Yeah, that's part of adulting, is rallying after like feeling like death, because honestly, work-life balance is not very balanced. We'll do an episode on that, but the work end really sometimes just drains you. And even just like the work parts of your life, like not work itself, but like having to run errands, having to get your groceries and cook meals and, keep yourself hygienic, like all of these little things that add up and end up being like, okay, girl, you have no time for yourself. So when you do, you don't always want to spend it like out in the world because you're like, I'm done with society. Like, I'm good, love. I just want my bed. So before we keep rambling on, today's topic is going to be expecting perfect activism and how that is harmful and, in my humblest opinion, stupid. So we can start with some examples. One of them being veganism. It's something that is a bit of a taboo topic in some circles because it has a bit of a bad reputation, and rightfully so, because there are some people who are out there making a bad rep for all of the others by just being a bit too aggressive and judgmental. And just
extremist, yeah.
Yeah, just extreme and that's the case for a lot of different approaches. We also have, for example, sustainability. Like, these are all good causes and I believe in them myself, but the way that some people go about them, I understand how others are put off by it. Like, we cannot judge people for not being perfect vegans or being perfect at sustainable fashion or sustainability in general, because what it does is it ends up driving away a lot of people. And at the end of the day, that goes against our goal, as the goal of trying to get more people to be actually participating in this. And, we need 1 million imperfect vegans or imperfect sustainable people instead of 10 perfect vegans or perfect sustainable people, like just people who are part of these different activist groups are participating in the beliefs within it. So we need to start calling people in versus calling people out, which is a lot of people don't notice the difference, but it's the subtleties in our language. What are you saying to them? How are you communicating this stance that you believe in? Because by default, if you come at people aggressive, their guard goes up and they're not listening to you anymore. Like, that is bouncing right off them. So, yeah. Annie, take it away if you have any thoughts.
Yeah, I really echo that sentiment. So as you guys know, like, we do have a plant-based diet, and as of recently, we've taken a step back from identifying as vegan ourselves for this same reason. And we prefer the term plant-based, and like I aggressively prefer the term plant-based because of how ostracizing the vegan community can be. And while it is an awesome cause and obviously one that we believe in, we've been doing this for years at this point, I don't believe in how angry the community can be and how just in your face and like you're not doing enough and things like that. And I just don't feel like it's very welcoming if people inside the community are like afraid to post their own things. And like I know that we're not the only people that feel this way as well, because I was actually out with one of my girlfriends last night and this topic came up and just how we were feeling about it, but we're both like terrified to post about it because of the backlash that you can get from it. One example I can give you, and like I shit you not, I still have this DM, and this happened like last year. I reposted something to my story, and it was supporting my uncle's restaurant, which is not a vegan restaurant, and I did disclaim that in the post. It's just, a Dominican restaurant. We're Dominican. And I reposted something promoting it, and immediately this girl who, I want you to know, like I've never met this girl in real life, like at all. We just know each other through Instagram, and our commonality is that we're both Dominican and we are both now vegan. And this girl immediately DMs me and she's like, is that meat I see? And I was like, did you not look at the post? Like it says that for my non-vegans, and like as a Dominican, like what the tres golpes is, and that's like the most traditional breakfast that you can have. It's like mango, salami, egg, and fried cheese. And like none of that is vegan, not even the mango, okay? And I know that, but I'm still gonna support my family. And this girl is like, not like in a very angry way, but in a very aggressive way, kind of going off on me as to why I was promoting meat on my page when, like, first of all, my page is not about veganism. My page is about my life and sometimes makeup. It used to be about makeup, but at no point have I made it about that. Have I like offered advice about that or anything of that nature? And she was like annoyed that I was promoting meat or something in the community, and I was like, but that's my family's business. Like, of course I'm gonna support them and put up a post, and I shouldn't feel like afraid or like, ooh, what are people gonna say if I post meat on my story, like over something like that. I just think it's really ridiculous, and that puts a lot of people off from trying it. And if you really believe in the cause and you believe in making a difference through having a plant-based diet, you shouldn't be shooing people away by scaring them when they post things like that, which is so ridiculous.
And I feel what stops a lot of people from becoming vegan or trying it or trying to be plant-based is that 100% commitment that you feel that you need to make, that you have to never make. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because if you have that label, then people kind of hold you up to that standard. And that's why I'm like, let's get rid of those labels. Like, let's just say, like, I just aim to eat more plant-based in your life. It doesn't have to be every day. I know someone who they just do, like, meatless Mondays or, like, plant-based Fridays. Like, you can just choose certain days of the week where you eat plant-based or where you don't eat meat or something like that. And that in itself is doing a part. And, I'm not here to judge those people who do that versus committing 100%, because you know what? I'm grateful for every single person who participates in it at all. And it's really people who are just get off your high horse. That's really what it is.
That's all it is.
You're not better than anyone because you are vegan or because you are so amazing at being sustainable. It doesn't make you a better person if the way in which you are communicating this or trying to spread the message is ineffective. First of all, then you're doing less by just yourself being the only person who's able to do that, because
at that point.
Yeah, you really do, because no one is actually listening to you and it's not working, and you're not able to change other people's lifestyles or perspectives because you are not being accessible in any way. For example, my boyfriend was actually the first person who got me into veganism. And he never tried to pressure me to start eating vegan. He just lived his life, did it himself, and I just witnessed it. And because he never pressured me to, I got curious. And then I started to make some meals because, sometimes I want him to be able to eat too when I cook. So I would make some vegan meals and I would eat them myself. And I was like, hey, this isn't that bad. And I would go over to his parents' house and they would make food. And I was like, this tastes bomb. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just try it out? And I started it like that, just trying it out. And then, fast forward to now, and it's been nearly 4 years. And that just goes to show how, and he's not only impacted me, he has been able to impact a lot of his own family members, my family members, and we've all tried out being plant-based because just seeing that he was very inviting with it. He'd answer any questions that we had, and he wouldn't judge us if we chose not to. And having that no pressure, low stakes educational approach to it was much more effective than people who are screaming at you and guilting you into feeling like you have to be vegan or you're a bad person. That just should not be the stance or the way that we're trying to convince people to try things out, like being plant-based. And I want to invite anyone who is curious about, being plant-based or being more sustainable in any way, to reach out to either one of us or both of us on this podcast. And, if you have any questions, I have been eating plant-based meals for nearly 4 years. So I got some recipe ideas for you. Our mom makes bomb alternative meals. And we're here to educate and assist and not to judge any of you. So if you want to try it out and you don't like it and you stop doing it, that's okay. Like, I'm not here to judge you. You have your own reasons. And people also have actual health reasons why they can't. I follow this YouTuber, Lindsay Rem, and she has been vegan for years, and she had to start implementing eggs because of some sort of health reason that I don't remember the exact situation, but she had all these other limitations in her diet due to health reasons and needed to start to implement eggs. And she felt really guilty about it because she knew that people were going to come at her for doing that, but she was very open and honest about it. And I really appreciated that, because a lot of times we feel like we have to live in the closet about that as vegans. Like, oh my God, like I accidentally ate egg one time. Now I'm a horrible person. Like, everyone makes mistakes, and that's perfectly okay.
And even if you do it intentionally, it's also perfectly okay. It's about just doing your part. And as long as you're thinking about it and making that conscious effort, and like B was saying, like, do a meatless Monday or something like that. Something like that is a conscious effort, and it does make a difference, and it does reduce the amount of meat that's being consumed. Because if everyone did a meatless Monday, like, just think about it. And you can live the rest of your life. You don't have to feel like it's this deep and like difficult thing. And you shouldn't like feel pressure from people in the community to live a certain type of way. Or for example, for me, like, I'm very much into makeup, and as soon as I like kind of put out there that I was transitioning into veganism, everyone was like, well, is your makeup vegan? Is your skincare vegan? Is it cruelty free and blah blah blah? And I felt like it was something that I was already doing behind the scenes, but I felt like an intense pressure to make sure that any makeup I was posting or kind of like promoting and things like that were vegan, so that people wouldn't like come for me in my DMs and say anything about how dare I promote the vegan lifestyle when this one mascara that I was using was not vegan. So
there's so much pressure in that label of vegan. There's so much that the way, because then people don't just make it about food. That's true. They also make it about like the clothes you wear and the makeup that you use, your entire lifestyle. And that's a big reason why we're stepping away from that term. And I enjoy plant-based because it's like, at the end of the day, I like the main base of my food and my lifestyle to be plants. But on top of that, I leave room for myself to slip up or to choose to not always live a 100% vegan lifestyle. And I find that without that pressure, I'm actually able to do better because I don't feel super stressed out about it. And I'm able to enjoy that aspect of my life versus feeling like it's a source of stress. And another aspect to that is, when you're inviting people in, is allowing for questions without judgment. Sometimes there's, especially in activism, there is a lot of particular language, and that language is constantly evolving, and people get very judgmental when you don't know the proper term for things. And I understand that sometimes it could be offensive, and I'm not saying it's okay to like be purposely offensive, but because of that, a lot of people remain uneducated and are not able to be called in because they're so afraid of messing up when they're even just asking a question and trying to learn more. So I think we just need to like allow for the lack of judgment when we're letting people, find their way into their path of activism. And PC language can sometimes be, or politically correct language can sometimes be a limitation. Does that mean that people should use the N-word? No. It is the year 2021. If you don't know that, you've been living under a rock. But
even if it's something that you used to say, I'm sorry, because like been there, done that, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I just feel like at this point, like if you haven't grown past that and all the time that has passed and everything that has happened in the past couple of years, like I just don't know what to tell you. At that point, that's willful ignorance. Like you are choosing to keep living your life that way. But, there's a lot of things like I, for example, don't know absolutely everything there is to know about the queer community. There are some terms that I don't fully understand, but I just coming from a genuine place and wanting to understand how I can help and how I can be an ally, that is enough, is just coming forth with that honesty. And I hope that everyone else who is a part of these communities and is trying to be an activist of any kind or for any cause, that you treat people with that kindness and understanding that it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. And that's where cancel culture really ruins a lot of things. But just letting people kind of fuck up as they learn, and that it's okay to not be perfect activists because we are all doing the best we can with the knowledge that we have. And that's really the most that we can ask of people realistically without scaring them away from being a part of it at all. Everyone starts somewhere. As long as you have an open mind and you're willing to keep learning and the people that you're speaking to are willing to provide that knowledge in a judgment-free way, then we're all moving forward and we're all working towards the same cause. Activism comes in different shapes and sizes and it's different for everyone. It's something that also goes in line with your personality. Some people are not as extroverted about it as others are, and as long as you're thinking about it, being a conscious person, thinking about what you do and how that affects the people around you in future generations, then we're on the right track.
Yeah, that is very well said. With that, we're going to be wrapping up this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening in. We are always accepting new topic submissions. You can DM us, leave a comment on our socials, whatever works best for you. Yes. And we look forward to chatting with you guys next time.
Also, if you guys would be into it and wanted to do some sort of advice kind of episode, and you wanted to submit a few questions or just different things that you would like advice on, we would love to do that. So please feel free to send that to us via email, comment, whatever it is. Just a thought. Let us know if that's even something that you're into. But we thought it would be fun. Just wanted to put it out there. And yeah, guys, have a great week. Love you. And until next time, bye.
Bye.